Okay, they ask us, they tell us that they've given us a front view, a top view, and a left view of a model. And they want us to draw an isometric drawing to a scale 1 to 1 of the model, and we should show all constructions and auxiliary views, and no hidden details required. Again, corner A must be the lowest point of the drawing. Let's quickly find corner A. First thing, where's corner A in my drawing? It's labeled right there. We have corner A right there, and there. Do you agree? Okay, so that's going to be that point on my drawing. So we have a common corner A. Let me zoom out quickly. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing the base of this object first. We have a front view, a left view, and a top view. Nee. Why? Because my top view has to be above and my left view has to be on the left. Now, if I look at my front view, I'm going to see that. If I look at my left view, I'm going to see that. And if I look at my top view, I'm going to see that. This orange section right there, that is a punch out. It's a hole that goes through the base. Do you see? It runs through the base right there. Then we have these cavities also going through our base. So it's going to be a little bit of a complex base with a lot of moving parts, but we will take it on one step at a time. Let's start at corner A quickly. Okay, we know all isometric drawings start with a 30-degree line. Okay, so we're going to draw a 30-degree line up and to the left and a 30-degree line up and to the right. Okay, now on that 30-degree line that goes up and to the right, I'm just going to add this one for now as well. On that 30-degree line that runs up and to the right, I'm going to measure, what view am I going to draw there? This is going to be where my front view is. Nee. So, this is my front view, so I'm going to measure 80. Do you agree? From there to there is 80. So I'm going to measure 80 on that line. I'm going to be with you after the lesson. Okay.
So I can see that it's not,
the lines.
No, something you're right, the drawing line.
Okay. I'll draw a bit darker. Okay, so we have 80. On that line, I can make a dot right there at 80. And now if we look at the height of my base there, what's the total height of my base there? 20, ne? So on this line, I'm going to measure 20 and make a mark. Okay, so there's 20 right there. Now I can quickly extend these 2 points until they intersect, and that is going to be my front view, the base of my front view. I'll draw what can be drawn in with dark lines so long. Okay. Remember, I'm drawing dark lines now just so you can see. Yours should be light. Unless you are 100% certain that you are going to see that line, it should be light. If we look at our front view, you'll see that there is a cavity right there in our base. Okay, that cavity it starts at 20, then it has a width of 20 and a height of 10, and then it ends right there. So what am I going to do? Go to my drawing. I'm going to measure 20 right there, and I can make another mark at 20. Okay, so I've got 20 and 20. Then from those points, I can draw a line that goes straight up, measure that line to be 10, and I can now draw that cavity. Okay, so can you see I have that cavity now? Now I can erase this line because that should not be there. Okay, if we look at our left view, we have the same concept. We have the same thing going on. From there, so from point A to the end there is going to be 80. So I can go onto this left view and measure from point A up into the left, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where are you supposed to be? Okay, so we measure 80 on that line. Okay, again we have a total height of 20, so I can just extend that point up and to the left. Right, then we have another cavity right there somewhere. This one, we have that cavity right there. How are we going to get that cavity? Well, I can see that it's in the center. So, in order to find the center, I'm going to have to divide that 80 into 2. So, on this line, I'm going to measure 40 because half of 80 is 40. Right there, and then we can see that the total width of this thing is 20. So from the center, I've marked a dot there at the center. From the center, I can measure 10 to the right and 10 to the left. That's going to give me the width of the cavity. And then the cavity has a height of 10 again. Okay, so it's got a height of 10 right there. Now I don't have to re-measure the height. So I can just go from that height that I have right there, project it to the middle, and project it over to the left. Now I have a height there at 10 as well. So I can just extend those lines until they hit the height line. I can erase that. Yeah, I can also erase this because that's too dark. I want you to keep them light. Okay, so there are the first two parts of the cavity. Okay, now I want to draw this hole that we have going through the entire base. Okay, first thing I have to do is I have to quickly get the total distance from there to there. That is going to be 60, so I can just quickly measure 60 on this line. 2, 4, 6. We have 60 right there. Let me just focus. Why does this thing not want to focus? Okay, now from there, let me zoom in a bit, see if that helps. Okay, so from there, I'm going to draw a line all the way to the back. And now from that corner, I'm also going to extend the line all the way to the right. Okay, so there is the top part. So this entire section that I've just drawn in is this entire section. Okay, but obviously without the hole now. Now we want to draw in the hole. How am I going to draw in the hole? I can see that from the center there, it's got a total width of 40. So it's going to be 20 to the right, 20 to the left. And from the center there, it's going to be 30 up and 30 down. Okay, to have a total height or a total length there of 60 and a total width of 40. How am I going to get those points? Look at what I'm going to do now. From there, we know that the width of this thing is 20. So I'm quickly going to find the center of that thing, which is at 10 right there. And I'm going to make a mark. And I'm going to do the same for this cavity right here. Find the center, which is at 10, make a mark. Now I'm going to go and project those points straight up, so that they touch the top part of the facet there, so that I have that point. I've just created those 2 points. Now from those 2 points, so from this point, let's start with this one. From that point, I can measure 30 to the left and 30 to the right. So from that point, I'm now going to measure 30 to the left and 30 to the right. You'll see why in a second. 30 to the left and 30 to the right. From this point, I'm going to measure 20 to the left and 20 to the right. Why? Because the total length there is 40, so it's going to be 20 to the left, 20 to the right. Okay, now the next step, I'm going to quickly project those points across the top of this surface until they intercept. Okay, so I project them across the top right there until they intercept. And can you see, now I have created a rectangle there in the center. That's going to be the top of my cutout. Are you with me? Yes. Okay, so I've just created this rectangle. Okay. But what do I need to do to that thing to make it look like a 3-dimensional object? Something is going to have to happen. Yes. The inside. I have to draw the inside. Yes. Okay, so what is the total height of my base? 20. So I'm going to draw a line straight down. And I'm going to make a mark at 20 right there. And then from that projection, I can draw a line until it disappears there. And I can draw another line until it disappears right there. But am I finished now? No. Look at this. There is a cavity there as well. Nee. And there's a cavity there as well. Nee. Do you agree? So what am I going to do? From that point, which is also not finished, I have to draw a line there. Okay, so I have to put a line there and I have to put a line there. Just want you to take note of that. Okay, so from that point, because I'm working with a bottom facet here, that's also on the bottom facet. I can just project that point to there. Now from there, I can draw a line that goes straight up, measure it to be 10, because the cavity's height is 10, and project it to the left, and I can erase that line right there. Now that cavity is finished. Almost finished. I still have to add this line. I still have to do this. Okay. Are you still with me? No. Yes, the point is just to pay attention now. You can go back in time and rewatch this if you are struggling. Okay. But I cannot stop and focus on every small detail. Okay, so right now we have to create a cavity there at the back as well. So how are we going to do that? Again, we have the same facet. We are working on the bottom facet, which is there, which is also there. So I can just project that line. I can project that point to right there. Okay, and I can also just project that point to there, but it looks like it's going to be in that corner, so I can draw a line up so long. Okay, now I have that cavity there. I'm just gonna erase a couple of lines to remove some of the cluster. Alright, now I have this entire object, the base of this object sorted out. I can go onto this back plate. Okay, so for this back plate, I have to start with a cube or a rectangle shaped cube, a rectangle shaped back plate, and then I can start chipping away from that. Okay, so from the back here, we have a total height of 100. Do you see that? From the back there, we have a total height of 100. So, I'm going to go to the back here, and then I have a total height there of 100. So I can draw a line that goes straight up and measure that line to be 100. Okay, I can erase that line because that's going to disappear. It's the same facet. Okay, now I have the top of that line. From there, I'm going to draw a line down into the left. Measure that line to be 20. Why 20? Because the width of the base, the back plate is given as 20 right there. You see that? Okay, so from there I'm going to measure 20. And I can project that straight down to that point. Okay, now I can complete this the rectangle shape of my back plate. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out quickly just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so for the top I can extend those 2 points to the left. I can extend that corner right there straight up until it touches that line. And at that point where they intersect, I can draw a line up and to the right. Okay, there is the top part, the back plate as a normal rectangle. Now, we can see that it has 2 slopes there. And we can see that those slopes are given as 24. So the distance from there to there is 24 and from there to there is 24. Now, how can we use that? If we have a rectangle, so can you see if I have a rectangle backplate, now I can measure from there to there to be 24, and from there to there will be also 24. No, because from there to there is 24. Now, how can I use that? Well, I have a rectangle square backplate. So from there, I can just measure to the left 24, and from there I can just measure to the right 24. Now from there I can measure down 24, and from there I can also measure down 24. Now all I have to do is connect those points. Why do I just have to connect them? Because I can physically see that they are just connected in this orthographic plane. Okay, so I can just go in and connect them. Okay, and in order to project them to the right, so in order to project those points to the right, I can just draw them, this one until it touches that line right there, this one I can project until it touches that line right there, and this line I can project to there. Okay, so now I've created that point and that point. All I have to do now is connect them. Okay, and I can draw this, the hard line. Okay, and now I've got the back plate sorted out. But now I can see that there is a hexagon shaped hole in the back plate. No. So how am I going to draw that hexagon shaped hole? First things first, I have to find that center. So let's find that center quickly. They've given us a total height there of 60. So that center sits at a height of 60 from the bottom. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to draw a guideline there. From the bottom there, I'm going to measure 60. So from there, I'm going to measure 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 60 right there, and I'm going to project that point across the front surface of my back plate. Now I have to find the center there. I have to find the center on this line. Okay, how am I going to find the center on that line? Well, I know that that line has a width of 80. So I could just measure 40. Okay, I can just measure 40 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be the center. Okay, and now that I have this center, I can draw a line that goes straight up. Okay, so now I've created a center line on this back plate. Now that I have a center line on this back plate, what can I do? Now is the time to use an auxiliary view. Okay, so the first thing, the first point that we start with is a center line. Okay, so I'm quickly going to draw a center line over in the top here. Okay, so there's a center line. They tell us that the length of one side is 25. Do you see that? Now, if we have a hexagon and the length of one side is 25, I'm going to set my compass to 25. And I'm going to draw a circle. Okay, and then I can quickly create the marks that are going to form the hexagon. This is term 1 work. And in order to finish off the hexagon, I have to connect those points. Okay, I'm not going to use the full hexagon. I'm only going to use a part of the hexagon, but just to show you what the concept is. I'm going to draw the full hexagon. Okay, so there's a full hexagon. Now I'm going to erase part of this hexagon because I want you to see that you don't need the full hexagon. Okay, so you don't have to waste time drawing the entire hexagon. I'm just going to connect those 2 points to there. So I'm connecting them together and I'm connecting that point to that point. And then I'm going to go in and draw a line like that. And I'm going to draw a line like that in order to create, to help me to get measurements from. The first thing that I'm going to do, pay attention now. From the center, I'm going to measure the distance from there to there, which should be 25. Okay, so I'm going to go to the center right there, measure 25 and 25. Okay, so I'm copying those distances to that line. Now I'm going to go back to the center and I'm going to measure the distance from the center to there, to that bottom side of my hexagon. And I'm going to copy that distance to the center right here. There and there. Now from those 2 points that I've just created, I'm going to draw lines through them. And then I'm going to go back to that point right there, get the measurement from there to there, and then I'm going to copy that measurement from there to there, like this. And I'm going to do the same at the top. Okay, so now I've created a bunch of points here that are going to form my hexagon, and all I have to do in order to draw in the hexagon is connect them. Alright, and are we finished now? Who's this man outside my place? Okay, are we finished now?
No.
No, we still have to draw these lines. And how long should those lines be? How long should these lines be? 20. No. Okay, and now we are finished. Okay, any questions? Why do I go so fast?